All right. Hello, 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 my friends. My name is Evelyn Joy, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about gardening and seeds. Yes, it just recently snowed and the snow melted. It's finally starting to get warm. Where I live, the estimated last frost date is it's safe once you hit Mother's Day. So right now it's about to be March, so I've got a couple more months. So what I've been doing is I've been building a lot of structures for my garden and building walkways with stepping stones and just getting everything ready. And soon, before you know it, maybe a month from now, I'm going to be starting the seeds. So I wanted to show you something that I ordered. This is from purepollination.com. Okay. I ordered, this was $34. I got 40 seed packets, and all of them are heirloom variety. What does heirloom mean? Did you know that when you just have random seeds, maybe it's from Dollar Tree, or maybe it's from the store, or maybe it's from a fruit that you ate, that seed isn't necessarily going to grow a plant, because a lot of plants nowadays are hybrid plants. Now the heirloom variety, that's the kind that when you grow it, for example, tomatoes are in here. When I grow from the tomato seed, one seed creates a plant. That plant produces tons and tons of tomatoes. Every tomato has tons of seeds in it. I can save the seeds from the tomatoes, dry them out, and because they are heirloom, they're not hybrid, they're not like, these are chemical free. So these are the old school original God made them, heirloom seeds, right? It's not mutated by science, right? So it doesn't have chemicals or anything. So these seeds can grow more plants. So in other words, this is an investment. You buy the seeds one time, and then the idea is one seed's going to create a plant. That plant's going to create some fruit or vegetable, and that's going to have seeds. For example, last year I grew watermelons. I have my watermelon seeds from last year's plants because it wasn't a seedless watermelon, right? It wasn't a hybrid. It wasn't something chemically altered. It was, planted from seed, watermelon, good old fashioned watermelon with seeds in it, right? Okay. So anyway, I went through and I separated out which seeds I'm interested in using this year. Why would I want extra seeds? Now, if I can keep this for years, right? If these are dried seeds, I'll show you an example of some of them. You see that? Those seeds, they're not going to mold. They're not going to get old. The amazing thing about seeds is one of these tiny little seeds can create a whole plant that creates red cherry tomatoes. So a seed packet, something I didn't understand last year. Last year I thought, buy a seed packet from Dollar Tree, dump it all in a container, some plants grow from it, and then you get plants, right? I didn't realize you have to space things out. And so one thing I didn't know last year, for example, I did that with my carrots, just dump it in a pot, see what happens, right? No, every seed becomes a carrot. Every seed becomes a plant. You have to space them out, Evelyn. I was such a beginner last year. I'm still learning, but I didn't know on the back of these seed packets, there's instructions. It talks about where you are, what temperatures this specific plant likes, how much water it likes, is it container friendly, how deep the roots need to go, how deep of soil you need, and it gives you a little bit of information. Well, I was thinking, coming from this, getting all of these seed packets inside, I don't have instructions. But no, they thought of that. This company is a family-based company, and they no doubt grow their own plants, and they save the seeds and they sell them. So they're called Pure Pollination, and there's other companies that do it too. But make sure you look for heirloom variety so that when you grow your plant, when you get your tomatoes, when you get your fruits or vegetables from it, then, or flowers, whatever, then you will then have seeds that are effective in growing new things, because hybrid chemically changed seeds, they will grow a plant, but that plant will not produce seeds that can grow a plant. You know what I mean? So I didn't know all this before. So anyway, what I love is this booklet goes in alphabetical order. So say, for example, let's just stick with this example, red cherry tomato. So that starts with an R. So I'm going to go over to the R. And I love, okay, I'm a visual learner, so I love pictures. PQR. Oh, well, that was a bad example because it's not under red, is it? It might be under tomato. Let's go under T. Tomato, large red cherry, and beefsteak. Okay, so tomato, large red cherry. So here, to go with this little packet, I have, it's like an encyclopedia. It tells me spacing. How far apart should your plants be so that they can grow? Because they each need their own space, you know. So full sun. So some plants, they like a little bit of shade, you know. Some plants like full sun, like tomatoes, you know. It tells you all the information that's good for it, right? Hardness, it's tender, right? Average days to maturity, 65 to 75 days. So germination is between 70 to 80 degrees. Germination is when the seed turns into a little baby plant. So anyway, super exciting. Why would I want to make this investment? 34. Okay. The reason I bought it is because, and why do I want to have a garden? Let's talk about this for a minute. I have a class, I teach online. I have a class in about 20 minutes. So I've got 21 minutes to talk to you guys. I've got a class, yeah, coming up at 8 o'clock. Anyway, so this last year, right? This last year, there were times when the grocery stores were empty. And so everyone started to think about gardening, right? And we thought, hey, we've always just taken for granted that the grocery stores are stocked with food for us. And we just go, we take our money from our jobs and we go and we buy food, right? But then if something happens with the food trucks, we saw last year and this year, food trucks can be held up. And in those situations, no matter what happens with the economy, no matter what happens with grocery stores or whatever, or small businesses, big businesses, anything, no matter what happens, I'm still a mama of 4 little ones and I have a husband. So it's a family of 6 and a pet rabbit, and I've got mouths to feed. So my thought was, during lockdown, what can I do in my home and in my yard? What can I do to learn skills to keep my family fed? And so that's what I started last year. Last year, just totally brand new, just trying to watch YouTube videos, getting advice from gardener friends, and just starting from the get-go, not knowing anything. I put some seeds in some dirt, I water it and give it some sunlight, see what happens. And I was very surprised. I learned a lot. Not everything survived me, but a lot of things survived me that I was surprised by. Things like watermelon, it took me my 3rd try, but I love growing watermelon now. I've got plenty of seeds to try with, so if something dies, it'll be okay. Things like carrots are a little bit more sensitive, so I'm more knowledgeable about it now than before, right? So what kinds of things am I going to be growing? I'm going to be growing green beans. I'm going to be growing, you know, tomatoes. I'm going to be growing pepper plants. And the awesome thing is cantaloupe, my kids, they are learning these skills, okay? So not only am I learning skills to keep their mouths fed, but someday when I'm gone, they will know the skills that mama taught them, you know, just gardening, just they're absorbing information just from being around me and watching me do it and doing what mama does. So I wanted to look at some of these. I'm excited. I haven't grown honeydew before. So I've got a honeydew packet. I've got some cherry tomatoes. I've got some cucumbers for pickling. That's another thing. last year, I didn't can anything. I didn't dry anything. I didn't freeze anything. This year, I'm planning on learning all this stuff. I want to learn how to make salsa. I want to learn how to make tomato sauce. I want to learn how to can it. I want to learn how to grow black beans and dry them and stuff. Oh, I wanted to show you too. For example, store-bought potatoes like this, I let them get old and grow these roots, and then you just put it in the ground. It grows this magnificent plant, and after that plant withers and dies over time, then you know your potatoes are ready under the surface, and you dig them up, and it's like digging for a treasure hunt. It's so exciting and fun. It's a lot of work, but it's awesome. And I didn't grow lettuce last year, but what I did do is I created a kiddie pool raised bed that has dirt in it, and it's kind of a shady area. So I was thinking this year I'm going to be a little bit smarter. I need to put something there that doesn't mind a little bit of shade, because it gets sunlight, but not as many hours of sunlight because it's right next to the house. And I need to put something that doesn't need such deep roots, because it's a kiddie pool raised bed. Yes, it has drilled holes in it, but the roots, you know, plants that need to dig their roots deep down, they don't grow as well in shallow soil. So lettuce, I'm going to try some lettuce in there. Also, I built a structure just recently. I didn't have this last year. I have a video about it. I built an arch trellis, and I'm actually building a second one. The materials are coming in the mail. I already built a path to go in the middle, and I built 4 raised beds. So in those raised beds, I'm going to have marigolds. The marigolds help draw in the kinds of pollinator bugs, you know, all of those awesome bumblebees that are going to be pollinating my plants, right? And so I'm going to have on the ground, I'm going to have next to my arch trellises, I'm going to have these lovely marigolds, right? And they're beautiful. And they also kind of detract some of the pests that might bother, like tomato plants and stuff. So on the trellis, there are certain kinds of plants that they have to be trellised. They want to climb up things. So I'm going to have, you know, maybe cucumbers. Definitely, I want to do some black beans. I want to do some green beans right here, you know. Some green beans are bush style beans, so they'll make a bush. Some of them are climbing beans. So you have to like read about them and know what you're planting, right? I might grow peas. Who knows? Love the tomato beefsteak. The beefsteak tomato is bigger, so that you can make stuff out of it. Whereas the cherry tomatoes, you can just, you know, pick them off and eat them, right? Spinach, I might put that in the pool along with in the kiddie pool raised bed. Rhubarb, I'm not sure whether or not I'll do rhubarb this year, but I'm definitely interested in growing some rhubarb. I've got some cantaloupe here. I've got some sweet banana pepper. I accidentally grew one of those last year. I bought a plant that said it was a cucumber plant, and then it had banana peppers on it, and I liked them. A little bit spicy, but kind of fun. Here we have, this is Blue Lake bush bean. So I have to look up in here. Yeah, okay. Oh, those are green beans. See, Blue Lake bush beans. So you look it up and you find out what it's going to be, right? Oh, this is also Blue Lake bush bean. This one's from Dollar Tree. No, this is from some of these I spent a couple dollars on because they are actually from Home Depot. But these are good quality, and you get quite a few in there. Anyway, I saw celery. I don't know if I'll grow that this year, but just interested. You know, broccoli. I might grow broccoli. I don't know. Broccoli likes colder weather, so it's neat. You can grow different things at different times. You know, iceberg lettuce, different things. So many cool things, and there's a lot more. I think there's 40 different packets in here. So the nice thing is, one reason to hoard, well, I'm going to put them back in here to keep track of them. One reason to hoard seeds, like me, is, for example, Michigan and some states they blocked people from buying any sort of gardening materials. That's actually what kind of got me started. I was like, the grocery stores are empty. I need to feed my kids. And some states aren't letting people buy gardening supplies. Here, let me go to the store and get something before that happens to us. You know what I mean? So, gardeners, I have a bunch of Dollar Tree seeds that I had from last year. Gardeners who are experienced tend to have a bit of a collection because you don't use, when you know what you're doing, you don't always use the whole entire packet. You can save half the packet. Just, cut it and tape it down, save it for next year. For example, this was handed down to me from a friend last year. I have some from my friend Dani. Shout out to Dani. She gave me some watermelon seeds. That's actually what I bought, grew the watermelons from, and this has cucumbers in it. Marigold flowers from seeds from my friend Dani as well. Some tomato seeds from Dani. Okay, I definitely want to grow this one. This one's on my definitely list. My friend Dani had last year the most awesome, huge bush of tomatoes. And they're the little yellow sweet cherry tomatoes. They're so yummy just to like snack on them. That's the kind of thing I want my kids to just go to the garden and help harvest things and just eat it and have healthy, I want to say free, free off the vine. This is a bit of an investment, building the structures and buying the potting soil and stuff like that. But here I have jalapenos. Just having that, it's an investment having it all there, but then I can use it as long as I live here, right? For years to come, the structures that I'm building to have my garden in. So it's so exciting. So I wanted to shout out Pure Pollination and definitely consider visiting purepollination.com. I mentioned to them that I was going to mention them on my YouTube channel. It's not any sort of an endorsement or anything like that. I just wanted to shout them out. Small businesses in 2021. Shout out small businesses, right? Shout out farmers. Also, I've been seeing articles that like farmland is getting bought out, and a lot of farmland has been used so much that the dirt is no longer rich soil, and just try it. This is the challenge for me for 2021. Try to become less dependent on grocery stores, because right now the economy is going well, but the future is uncertain. Maybe in my lifetime the economy will be fine. Maybe we'll never be in a situation where there's nothing in the grocery store, or maybe it'll happen a lot. Who knows if grocery stores could close down? But the time is now to learn how to grow your own food, right? Everybody's doing it. All the cool kids are doing it. Grow your own food. You know what I mean? And it's therapeutic. It's so satisfying. And did you know that fruits and vegetables taste so much more flavorful fresh from the garden? And it didn't have pesticides sprayed on it. There's no chemicals, no GMOs. That it was grown by your own hands. God does the growing. We just do the planting and the watering and the following the instructions, right? But it's just so amazing to see. It's comparable to seeing, going through the stages of pregnancy and seeing your baby grow and grow and grow and be born. It's comparable. Seeing that tiny little seed grow up into this huge, massive plant and produce like so many tomatoes of their own, that each one has seeds in it, and every seed has that capacity that it could potentially become a giant plant if you dry that seed and you save that seed for the next year and you plant it in the dirt and you give it sunlight and water. It's so amazing. And did you know you don't necessarily have to have a green thumb? There are plants that want to grow. The plants that were easiest to grow last year, I'm redoing this year. Some of them were a little bit more fickle, and they're worth trying again if I want to, or I can try something new. I'm growing lettuce for the first time. I just recently heard from someone, that gardens that apparently lettuce is really easy to grow. So I'm going to try growing lettuce and spinach. So, oh, I should tell you guys what I'm planning on growing. So I have my strawberry patch. Strawberries take 2 or 3 years to really get going, but strawberries are really good at reproducing. Strawberries don't grow from seeds. Strawberries grow from the stem. The stems of the seed, the strawberry plants send out stems, and at the end of the stem, it becomes a new little plant, and they send out these plants. Well, during the winter time, the strawberry plants, their roots are still alive underneath the ground, and they're just waiting to pop back up. So I have my strawberry plants, their roots there under the ground, waiting for this next season, and who knows what they'll do. I'll probably buy some more new strawberry plants and put them in there, but I have one raised bed dedicated to strawberries. So year after year, the strawberries reproduce more and more. Berries are neat because you can have a successful blueberry plant, and if you treat it right. My dad has some 20-year-old blueberry plants, so year after year they're producing blueberries. I have a blackberry plant that I planted last year. I didn't get blackberries from it last year, but it grew and grew and grew. And if I prune it and treat it right and tie it up to the trellis and everything, we could have blackberries, and it's just so neat to see. Or there's plants like tomatoes. Tomatoes grow so well. They give you some of them give you all spring and summer long. They give you tomatoes, and some of them give you them all at once and they're done, right? It depends on what kind of tomato plant that you get, right? Some of them grow and grow and grow as long as you'll let them. Some of them, those are indeterminate. The determinate ones, they grow to a certain size and they produce their tomatoes and they're done. These plants, they want you to take their fruit, right? They won't produce more tomatoes or more fruits or vegetables if you're not picking their fruit, because they feel like their job is to send out seeds, little seedlings. So when you pick the fruit, the plant automatically receives the message, oh, we need to make more seeds, right? So the more you pick, the more it produces. And it's so awesome. And how awesome will it be teaching my kids recipes that we can make? Go outside and pick your own snack. Go outside and pick the ingredients for your recipe. Learn how to make for example, I really want to grow zucchini this year. I really want to grow black beans. I really want to grow cucumbers. Oh, it's time for me to get going to class. But anyway, all these things we can learn how to make our own healthy foods, and we don't have to rely fully on the grocery stores. How amazing would it be to have food frozen, dried, and canned that's available in the winter months? That's an important skill to learn. So I'm looking forward to having these potatoes in the ground growing. I'm looking forward to growing carrots, watermelon, so many things. So right now during this time, I'm building structures so that I'm just going to have an awesome garden, and I'm looking forward to it. So if you're planning on gardening this year, tell me in the comments. All right. Thanks so much. Have a great day.